Welcome to all of you to the new concept of Greek civilization. This video will be on city-states as well as development of democracy in Athens. Two parts this video will be concentrating, that is the city-states, meaning of city-states and the working of city-states, a brief introduction and the functioning of city-states will be concentrated. The second part, one of the city-state called Athens developed democracy, and the process of development of democracy is discussed. So let us begin with the 1 mark question. In which civilization do we find city-states? Among all the world's civilization, only in Greek civilization we find the development of city-states. There is a 5 marks question based on this. Write a brief introduction on city-states. Before we see the introduction, you can see the geography of Greek civilization on your left and the important seas, important routes and important connections of the Greek civilization. The next question, that is a 5 marks question. Write a short note on city-states of ancient Greece. Write a short note. So we will not discuss in details, very minute details. We will discuss from the point of view of question answers for 5 mark only with respect to first PU. The city-state was an outstanding political achievements or the contributions of Greeks. So it is a most impressive contributions of Greeks in terms of political achievements. The Greeks have contributed to the world a concept called city-states. How the city-states developed in Greece? For that, many factors were responsible. The geography or topographical features or physical features of Greece is the first that contributed for the development of city-states. The second one is the tribal character, the tribal characteristics that was the people of Greeks had. This is another one which formed or contributed for the development of city-states. The two features, many features are there, many characteristics have contributed for the development of city-states in Greece, but two characteristics. That is one, the topographical feature or physical feature of the country of Greece. The second one, the tribal characteristics of Greek people. The polis originated as a fortified site. So, the polis, P-O-L-I-S, polis originated as fortified site, but later was interpreted as a sovereign state. The polis created a strength, the site, but after some times it was objected by a sovereign state. So therefore, the sovereign state emerged from the polis. The polis was later formed as a sovereign state. The sovereign state is none other than city-states. City-states means polis, which means police. This polis means it includes the fort, the city, and the surrounding countryside of the fort. So it First Kote, the city inside, and the surrounding countryside, the villages around the fort. Around 800 BCE, around 800 BCE, a group of Greek villages began joining into a larger unit. So group of villages came together to form the city-states around 800 BC. The highest point in a city-state, an acropolis. The very highest point in a Greece is the acropolis. You can see here. This is the highest point. On your right, you can see an image. On the top, you can see the acropolis or citadel. This is built in order for defense purpose, for administrative purpose. On the top, what is built? The acropolis. Surrounding acropolis, the fort. So in between the acropolis and the fort is the city, and after that the surrounding countryside. This is built, the citadel or the acropolis was built for defense purpose only. So we can conclude that Greeks developed a acropolis or a citadel for the purpose of defense. So name some of the 2-mark question again. Name some of the important city-states in Greece, especially Sparta, Athens, Macedonia, Corinth, and Thebes were the important city-states of Greeks civilization. So Greek civilization had a number of city-states, but few of them can worth mentioning. That is Sparta, Athens, Macedonia, Corinth, and Thebes. You can see all of them in your map. Though the Greek city-states were independent from each other, were small in nature, they always engaged themselves in quarreling, fighting. They never liked each other because they had a jealous feeling, a dislike feeling between them. Though they were independent, separate, and small in nature, they were always fighting with one another. Why did they fight? They had a jealous feeling on the other. But what united them? Greeks were united strongly by a belief that they all descended from one person called Helen or Hellenes. They were all believed to be from one ancestor, common ancestor called Hellenes. That another bond which united the Greeks was the common language they spoke and the common literature they developed. These are the two factors that united them. One, they were from the common ancestors. The second one, they spoke a common language and literature. The one more factor, the third factor that united the Greeks into one as is the worship of gods like Zeus, Apollo, and Athena. So these are the gods invariably the different city-states people worshipped. So that is the gods like Zeus, Apollo, and Athena. Though they were engaged in quarrels, wars, but they were all united as one civilization because of common ancestor Second, common language. Third, common worship of gods. From here, if you move on to the development of a government. So, there was different forms of governments followed by the city-states. Especially in Athens, the democracy developed. So the one-mark question, in which city-state of Greece did democracy develop? Undoubtedly, the city-state called Athens, the democracy developed. Before we see the development of democracy, let us have a word on the forms of governments in different city-states in brief.